if we would really be honest and tell the truth. Oh, help me somebody. Pray for me. And so there are some things I believe that apologetically that we can put ourselves in the defense when we are met with opposition in the process of change. And one of the things that we can do is what is written in Matthew 16 and 18, where God tells Paul, listen, Paul, upon this rock, I'm going to build my church. In other words, I'm going to, on this revelation that I am the Son of God, I'm going to build my church. I'm going to build the church on that alone. I'm not building it on you, Peter. I'm not building it on your name or your fame, because the gates of hell can prevail against, y'all ain't going to talk. I'm building it on something that the gates of hell cannot prevail against. I'm going to build it on me. I'm going to build it on my reputation. I'm going to build it on my back. I'm going to build it with my testimony, but I want you to use the testimony to win. Help me, somebody. Say win. I want you to win, Peter. I want you to win, Thessalonian church. I want you to win. And this is what he does. He says, he puts us in this position to win. Not only that, Matthew chapter 4 says, man shall not live on bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. It is when we are challenged face-to-face combat with the enemy that God says, now what I want you to do is not only stand on the revelation that I am the Son of God, I want you to stand on the written word. Because sometimes what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to look the enemy in the face and tell him, as it is written, man shall not live on bread alone. In other words, you're not going to tempt me with the tangibles right now. You know, you gotta know that you know that you know that you know that you have a relationship with him. And this is what he puts us in this position. He says, listen, I want you to stand on the written word of God. And not only I want you to stand on the written word of God, I want you to take a travel with me, if you will, through a couple of scriptures, and I'm getting ready to get out your way. One of those scriptures is Romans chapter 8. Yeah. Help me, somebody. Romans chapter 8, beginning in verse 31. This is what he says. He says, what shall we say then? Shall we say to these things? What shall we say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? If God be for us, who can be against us? He that spared not his own son. Why do I think I'm going to get a pass and he hasn't spared his own son, but he delivered him up for us all? And sometimes I'm saying that you're going to still be going through some things because God is delivering you up to save somebody else. How shall he with him also freely give us all things? When he has taken us through the test, then we will have a testimony. Soon as he has taken us through all of these things, he says, who shall lay any charge to God for his elect? Once he has selected me, who can find me guilty? Once he has set me free, who can bring me back under charges? If I am ever going to be an example of faith, I'm going to have to go through the process that God has laid out for us. It is God that justifies. Who is it that he can condemn? Who can condemn what God has set free? Who can recapture you and bring you into bondage once he has delivered you? Once he has loosed you, who can bring you back into chains? It is Christ that died, oh help me somebody, that we might be set free. It is Christ that died to give us freedom. It is Christ that died, and not only that, he makes intercession for us with moanings and groanings which cannot be uttered. It was Jesus who had did this thing. It was Jesus who set us free. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? If God loves us, who can tell us that he does? Help me somebody. If he loves us with an everlasting love. I'm trying to help you here. Woo! Shall tribulation, here goes the question, shall tribulation, shall distress, shall persecution, what about famine, what about nakedness, what about peril, what about the sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. Help me somebody. We are counted as as sheep among the slaughter. Matter of fact, he's saying, get ready and stand up because you're counted. Stand in the number. Stand in the count. He wants us to be ready. Help me, somebody. He says the answer to these questions is nay. And all these things, we are more than conquerors. Through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nothing can separate me from Jesus Christ. Nothing can separate me from God. He came to get me. He came to save me. He came to set me free. I don't know about you, but it feels like he did it just for me. Woo! I don't know about you, but it feels like he did it just for me. Just for me. It seems like he did it just for me. Woo! So what you got to do? Everybody's standing. What you got to do? Everybody's standing. We're getting ready to close out here. What you got to do is you got to begin to exercise your faith. You got to work out. Every day you got to work it out. Every day you got to put your faith to the test. Yeah. You got to work out a little bit more. Yes, you got to lift a little bit more. You got to try a little bit harder. You got to keep on going. Yes, I don't know how you might get there. You might start off running, but by the time you get to the end, you might be limping like Jacob. I don't know, but all I know, you got to keep on going. You got to keep on running. Run this race until you can see what the end is going to be. You got to keep on working your faith. Matter of fact, you got to work it till you can't work it no more. That at the end of the days, Jesus can look at you and say, well done, my good and my faithful servant. You crossed the finish line. That's all I want to hear him say, is that Jesus, I just want to say, you made it. You made it. You made it over the finish line. Woo! You might come in crawling. You might come in dragging. You might come in limping. You might come in hopping. But anyway it is, you get in, cross that finish line, run this race, run it while you're young, so that when you get older, you're a little bit closer to the finish line. Y'all don't hear me in here. And another thing you got to do, you got to learn how to contend for the faith. You got to learn how to fight the enemy back. For we wrestle not against, oh, y'all ain't going to talk to me. For we wrestle not, we wrestling, we're in competition, y'all. We're contending for the faith. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principality. You got to put your dukes up. Hold your dukes up. I'm going to help you for the next couple minutes. Hold your dukes up. You remember how to fight. You just ain't been fighting in a little while. Every now and then you got to put your dukes up. You got to go into your spiritual prayer corner and you got to say, God, I'm getting ready to go into battle. I'm getting ready to go into warfare. I'm getting ready to fight the enemy. Every now and again, you got to line up. You got to put one foot back. If you're right-handed, put your right foot back. I'm going to help you out here in the next few minutes, because if you're right-handed, you want to throw your punch and hit the enemy. Yes. You got to keep your dukes up. You got to keep your eye on your enemy. You got to keep your eye on your opponent. Woo! You got to keep your eye on them. Never take your eye off the enemy. Woo! Never take your eye off the finish line. Keep contending for the faith until you cross that finish line. Keep fighting until you hear the bell ring. Woo! Help me somebody. Help me somebody. You can celebrate them right there. You can celebrate them right there. Keep on fighting. Keep on fighting. Keep on fighting. Woo! You got to fight for your children. You got to fight for your grandchildren. You got to fight to keep that home. You got to fight to keep that vehicle. But most of all, you got to fight to keep your faith. Woo! Help me somebody in here. Tell you real quickly before we get ready to dismiss, there's a few folk in the Bible that if we don't know how faith works, there's a book called Hebrews We can go over there in the 11th chapter and begin to look at what God did through men and women. And one of the things you'll learn about the Hebrew writer, which is considered to be Paul, as he writes back to them and tell them, look, be encouraged. Don't get discouraged at this part of the race, because I want to tell you a few things about a few folks who kept their faith, and this was the result. Abel offered a more excellent sacrifice than his brother Cain, because he did it in faith. Enoch was translated that he might not see death. Oh, y'all ain't gonna help me in here. Enoch walked with God for 300 years, and then he just vanished. But before he vanished, before they couldn't find him no more, there was a report that came from heaven that said this, that he pleased God. There was a report that said he pleased God. And this is how we know that without faith, it's impossible to please God. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is. You know, there's several individuals who conquered amazing things in their lives. And they did it all because of faith. While you're standing, I want to pray with you. If the ministers, evangelists can help me.